Hello, how are you? Today, well, it's already tonight, but the early this day, I saw many Japanese ladies or girls who were wearing kimono. They're walking, taking trains, or walking on the streets in Japanese traditional dress called kimono. Well, a long garment, a long sleeves, and very, very beautiful. And a special sort of like a hairdo they did. And the sash, big ones, have beautiful arrangement. The bow on their back, and also a very few, not many at all, boys also are wearing Japanese traditional kimono as well. But many of the boys were wearing sort of three pieces or the suit. Yes. Today was the coming of age day in Japan. I don't know how many of them are today, but many of those new coming of age, well, in Japan, that's 20 years old. So, new 20 years old boys and girls, so I would say men and women celebrated their ritual thing they went through, or perhaps they celebrated their coming of age day today. So they were wearing special clothes. Now, coming of age has a long history, but of course, each people, I would say, each tribes, nations, or countries, or religious groups, or group of people have done to celebrate the young people's becoming adults from young children, have practiced in many different ways, in variety of uh, method of celebrating or doing some ritual things, or let those young adults to go through some kind of a trial or something that they are worthy enough to be accepted as adults. But today, it's just a matter of ceremonial things or cultural tradition or happy occasion to celebrate, plus some ritual ceremony or something like that. Anyway, that's the happy occasion today. But for some people, maybe in some other countries, maybe you don't know, they have to go through some kind of painful trials or something like that still exist in Africa or some of the Central America or South America or some of the islands uh, in the Pacific, or perhaps in Southeast Asia or southern part of Asian parts. Okay, but then as far as I know, today only I'm going to share uh, such a country or such as every this group say they are becoming adults at what age. That's all today. Okay, previously I said that in Japan, the coming of age comes to the people who become 20 years old. So that's 20 years old in Japan. Well, how about in Korea? I don't know about North Korea, but in South Korea, that is 19 for boys and girls. Um, okay, let's see. Like I said, that some other countries do continue all the things, but let's say the ancient time in ancient Egypt or Greek. or Rome, or maybe the middle-aged Anglo-Celtic people. That's usually 18 years old today now. That includes like Australia, New Zealand, or Ireland. Although it is different. So, for example, for voting age or driver's license or smoking cigarettes or drinking alcoholic beverages. So overall, it's all included. Those Celtic countries, Anglo-Celtic countries would be, I would say, 21 years old. It's standard, although according to what state or what part of their countries people live in, it can be 18 as well. Well, coming of age, literally, it means a young person's transition from being a child to being an adult. Okay, so the adult age for voting in Japan now is 18, yet socially accepted adults who okay accepted responsibility toward family or society that is 20 years old. So it comes to that in the United States, I guess everything is accepted would be when a person becomes 21 years old. Although adult age for Americans have variety, which is according to what state they live. For example, the driver's license legal age is from 13 to 21. In California, when you are 16, you can drive. But in, for example, Louisiana, when you are 14, you can drive. And some places like Montana, 12 and a half, they can drive. Some states, they have to wait until they become 18 or 21. But overall, if a person becomes 21, then they have the right to vote, to drive, to drink alcohol, like beverages, and smoke cigarettes. So 21, I guess. Although there's a word called sweet 16, and especially for girls when they become 16 years old, okay, they used to be able to taste a little bit of alcoholic, kind of like a martini or something like that. It's quite popular. But today, of course, they have to wait until they become 21 to drink alcoholic beverages. Okay, then in Brazil, they have their celebration of 13 years old people. So, but today I really don't know, but they say it's 13, very early. In Canada, it's 18 or 19, depending on what state or province they live in. And in India, again, it's between 18 and 21. Then Indonesia, well, they don't say exactly how old, but they say a girl's first menstrual period or a boy's voice breaks, changing the boy's voice a little bit. Usually it becomes lower. So depending on the a person when that kind of symptom, well, I would say well, symptom or the sign appear. Now, Okay, Latin America, most of Spanish-speaking Latin American countries, 15 years old, quite early too, and they celebrate as well. And in the Philippines, 18 for girls and 21 for boys. And the Scandinavian countries and Celtic countries, usually it's 18 or 21. There is differences among different parts of the countries. Then in Spain, that's 18. And the United Kingdom, again, it's 18. Vietnam, that's same as Japan. Vietnamese coming of age. It comes when people become 20 years old. Now, talking about some other kind of tradition, not by the nations, let's say, for example, Jewish people. Well, bar mitzvah, that's for the boys, age of 13. And bat mitzvah, that is for girls, age of 12. Very early. Well, also Shintoism, the old religion of Japan, is anywhere from 12 to 14. And Islam, that is the again, they're saying the beginning of the puberty. So from age of 7 to up to 15 years old. And Sikhism, that is the when, well, one reaches, well, I would say well, they can age of the well, old enough to be called mature, to accept their responsibility toward family and society. So, again, there's no particular age for that. And Ifa, that is some of the African countries, the group of people called Ifa, that they say at the puberty. So again, no particular age. And Hinduism, that is when the people become mature enough to understand their responsibility toward family and the society. Again, there's no particular age. Then how about Confucianism? That it was the old China, ancient China, I would say. That was 20 years old. Then the Church of Jesus Christ. Well, they started to prepare becoming adults to commit to make it their commitment to the Christianity from age of 8 years old. Then they started to sort of like getting ready for their own baptism. So earliest is 8, but then many people do it a little later, of course, because they have to understand what they are going through. Then Catholicism, it's 10 years old or 12 years old, or sometimes 14 years old, or even older. Anyway, for people who uh, became or about to become, well, your coming of age day, congratulations. But then, of course, uh, you are no longer child, or they are no longer children. So they should be able to accept their responsibilities as well as recognize their rights. Well, that's the coming of age. Congratulations, and talk to you later. Bye for now. Well, here we go.